Page Properties team, brokered by EXP. We are at the Atlanta Regional Rally for EXP conference here in Atlanta, Georgia. We just got done hearing Ricky Carruth give a fantastic speech, not about what he does to lead generate, but how do you transform? How do you transform who you are in your business today? How you doing, Ricky?
Good, man. Good, man. Good to see you guys.
And I can't forget my partner, my team lead, Bradford Page with Page Properties.
Awesome. All right, let's get it.
Yeah. So, man, Ricky, you know, I've seen you and studied you throughout your career. I mean, we met last year. What, at the EXP Con?
Yeah.
I believe.
No, shareholders.
Shareholders.
Yeah.
Okay, shareholders, and been reaching out to you, just studying your craft. But when you gave your speech today, it was different. It wasn't about cold calling. It was about being that person and that expertise for the future. So
I was wondering how you felt about like seeing me in person versus like online and stuff.
So in person, I say in person, it's really magical. Why I say that? Because at the end of the day, when you was giving your message, when you do like see you on YouTube or Instagram, it's more about, hey, this is what you need to do on a day-to-day. If you want to go get it, you got to go get it today. But when you on that stage, the message was completely different. Where you're saying, hey, when you go get it, it's not about that. It's about who do you want to become next. And that's where I really want to ask you, how can agents today become who they are? How can they become who they are today and elevate for the future?
There's a lot of things, right? So number one, think about who you want your avatar to be, like your client, right? That's who you want to transform into. You're going to attract whoever you want based on who you are. So you gotta transform into who you want your client to be. If you want your client to say yes to you, then you have to be a person that says yes to other people. Right? I think another thing is being around people who transform. Like, I'm in a suit. You know, have you guys ever seen me in a suit?
No.
Okay. Well, this symbolizes transformation. Right? My speech today, you said, was different than what I say on YouTube and what I say on Instagram, right? You're watching me transform. Therefore, it causes a chain reaction for you to want to lead. You want to follow me through the transformation so that you can transform.
For sure.
And so, being around people who transform is really important. But also understanding who are you, what kind of business are you trying to build, and who are you trying to attract into your business? That's 90% of it right there. The third thing is new ideas. Right? So you got to shed your current habits that are actually bad habits. You don't realize they're bad habits because they're working to a certain degree. You got to shed those, and you got to take on new habits. How do you do that? Through new ideas.
That's true.
Right? And unless you know something you didn't know, you're not going to do anything you've never done. So you have to constantly be learning new things. If you're not learning new things, you're not going to do anything different.
For sure.
And so transformation is kind of in the journey, you know, of continuing to be a student. See, most coaches and brokers and trainers, they're a teacher most of the time and a student some of the time. They need to be a student most of the time and a teacher some of the time. And that was my problem. I was just coaching. I wasn't really learning anything new. I wasn't reading anymore. I wasn't going to seminars and events, and I wasn't really learning anything new. I was just doing what worked, which was just coach agents. And that worked. I mean, I'm making great money, and it's all good. I have an awesome life and all this, except for the fact that I'm stuck where I am. And until you get fed up with where you are and willing to make the change, then you're going to stay where you are.
For sure.
And in order to make the change, you got to learn new things. In order to learn new things, you got to do what? You got to read. You need to read every day. Read every day. And you got to be around people who are also in that same mindset.
Amen.
In that same mindset. That you got to be around people who are transformed. If you're around people who are just doing the same old thing, getting the same old stuff, right? You're going to get into that same habit of just watching them do the same thing. Maybe they're succeeding higher than you. But you're like, oh, I want to get there, so I'm going to do what they do. And then you get stuck in that same thing, and then you're just stuck wherever they got stuck.
Right? So constantly changing your game is a good thing. And learning and being new and regenerating.
It is. Here's the problem, though, with that. Shiny pennies.
Oh, amen.
So like, I'll see agents on Facebook, and like their agents, they're not doing great, right? They're selling whatever, one a month, one every other month or whatever, and I'll see them on Facebook, and now they've got this insurance business. They're like, hey, welcoming me to this insurance opportunity, right?
Yeah. Well, they're doing
Themselves,
mortgages,
right?
or
Mortgages or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute. My wife will show me on Facebook, hey, this person got, aren't you excited? I'm like, no. I said, because they hadn't mastered business. They hadn't mastered real estate. And so what's going to happen? They're trying something new because this thing didn't work. Well, if you didn't learn how to make this work, this ain't going to work either. You're going to have the same problem. Until you transform into a person that can actually build business, you're not going to have business.
Yeah.
And people try to go around the things that actually move the needle to build business.
And that's true.
Lead gen, lead conversion, service, lead retention.
Yeah.
Forever, right? Once you got customers, those should be customers the rest of your life.
Yeah. And now you should be able to stay in contact with those customers so they can give you referrals.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the retention part is repeat referrals and referrals and referrals. But like it all comes down to these four things.
Yeah.
And most people won't do the very first thing, lead generation. Okay, well, your business is suffering, but you won't go get leads.
Yeah.
or you won't take appointments.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're scared to go take a listing appointment because you're worried you might not get the deal, or you're worried you might, fudge up or whatever. When you lose the deal, I talked about on stage. That's the opportunity right there.
Well, one of the big nuggets that I'm taking away from your speech up there is be that agent that you want to represent in your house.
Oh man, that was
become that agent.
I came up with that on stage. Like I came up with that on stage. I said, how many of you would list your house with you?
Yeah.
Well, I would.
I came up with that like on the spot.
But I love the concept of you're on that other side of the table. You want to get into your prospect's head and find out who they want you to be.
Yeah.
What is going to work for them? What agent do they want to sell their house?
Yeah.
And that's transformational.
You know how you do that?
How?
Asking them questions.
Amen.
Asking better questions.
Yep.
Whatever. Questions, better questions, more questions. Like, the problem is they just go into the listing appointment and they tell the prospect all about their stuff.
Right.
Oh, we sold this many, and we're going to do this,
I'm a
and
top
we're going to
agent.
do that, and we're going to all the stuff they're going to do. They don't care. They care about their problems.
Yeah.
Right? They got to move because their granddaughter, their daughter, now they got their granddaughter moving in. Their daughter just had a baby.
Yeah.
Now they got more people living in the house. It's too cramped. They need a bigger house. They don't care about all your stuff. They care about they need a bigger house.
Yeah.
That's what you got to focus on. See, they give you the content to close them, and you give them the context to solve their problems to close them.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not closing them. You're helping them with their problem, their life problem that they have going on. Agents are talking about the listing presentation, how we're going to market it, and all the views we're going to get, and all the Zillow things. They don't care. Dude, so how many sellers picked an agent based on that? Like how many sellers? Are there some? Sure. But how many sellers didn't go with the agent that had all that stuff and went with this other agent? They have nothing.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
The one that cared about that problem.
I can tell you a lot of them because I was the one that didn't have all that stuff. I walked in with the comps, with a blank listing agreement, with a Ricky Carruth pin and a nice folder with a $20 gift card to a restaurant. That's all I take to a listing appointment. And I don't price a property based on the comps. The comps are literally 10% of how I price a property. The comps, I only use the comps to justify what they want for the property.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't use the comps to try to figure out what the property is worth.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know. The first thing I want to know when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to sell a property," right? The very first thing I do is I go right to the county records and I say, "When did they buy it? How much did they pay for it?"
Yeah.
That's the first thing I got to know. If I don't know that, like I'm trying to get in there again. I'm trying to get in their head.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm telling, like this is me. Like I'm a seller interviewing me.
If you were them, what would you want?
Yeah, like when did they buy it? How much did they pay? And then when I go look at it, I already know. They don't know that I know how much they paid for when they bought it, but I know, and I know what the market's done since then.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can walk in and let them tell me all the upgrades they did, and I can have in my mind how much they actually got in it. I can have all that figured out before I even sit down with them and ask them what they want for the property.
Yeah.
Then they're telling me what they want for the property, and then I'm going through the comps with them to justify the price that they want. Trying to figure out how to get there. You know what I'm saying? Too many agents are just focused on the wrong stuff.
For sure. And for me, I really think, when agents are focused on the wrong stuff, it's because it kind of leads with their thoughts, right? Like you said on the stage, their thoughts become habits, and their habits become their destiny. And if we change our thoughts of not what we can get, but how we can serve the seller or the buyer or our community, then that's how we have a bigger impact that will lead us to the destiny that we want. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I just want to do a quick little podcast.
Thank you for taking
Thank you
time
so
out.
much, Ricky. Thank you so much, Ricky, for coming on the Dream Builders podcast. Again, I want to do a special shout out to the KGCI Real Estate on Air for collaborating with the Dream Builders podcast. And just thank you again for spending time educating us on how we can get better, but also how we can serve our community better. And again, the Dream Builders podcast, our mission is to help buyers, sellers, agents, small businesses, and nonprofits reach the resources and knowledge to achieving their goals. Our sponsors are by Real Estate for a Reason, the Dream E.N.T, Page Property Team, and Make Real Estate Fun Again. I hope you have a wonderful day, a fantastic week, and I catch you on the next episode. Peace.